Alex Morgan. I saw this story and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that this is real. Alex Morgan, who plays for the U.S. women's team and seemed to be relatively normal, she now appears to have undertaken and gotten the woke virus. She's even more woke than Megan Rapinoe. Alex Morgan is now saying that everyone should have the ability to play sport. The fact that it's being taken into politics is really sad. I think at the cost of trans kids' lives. And so she wants to stop. Looking at these games in Florida and Texas, respectively, we're going to need to continue to step it up and have internal discussions as well with the team. We're not ones to shy away from a hard conversation. Playing in Florida and Texas, that's something the team definitely needs to look at. I think talking about it is good. She is upset because the She Believes Cup is held in Texas and Florida, two states against trans athletes competing against girls. Does she not understand what's at stake here? I mean, I would love to be talking to Alex Morgan. We have dudes who are deciding to identify as girls and going and winning girls' championships and taking away girls' abilities to compete. We just toss it out there. If 12 or 15 really athletic dudes decided to identify as women, and if they were allowed to compete as members of the U.S. women's soccer team, they would eliminate all of the biological women on the U.S. women's soccer team. Let me repeat that. Remember, the U.S. women went to Dallas and lost 5-2 to a group of boys under 15-year-old in Dallas. They got beaten pretty soundly by a bunch of 15 and under boys in one American city. If 12 to 15 talented men's soccer players, the Leah Thomas effect, decided they wanted to identify as women and change their gender, the entire U.S. women's soccer team would lose their jobs because the men identifying as women would be way better. Male soccer players are infinitely better than women's soccer players. If our U.S. men's soccer team played against our U.S. women's soccer team, the men could win 50-0 if they wanted to. I'm not exaggerating. I think if they wanted to win 50-0, they could probably win 50-0. They are infinitely better than the women. So I understand the idea of, oh, I'm a woke sports star and I have to stand for something. Does Alex Morgan actually understand what she's standing for? She's standing for the eradication of women in women's sports. She is actually advocating for women's athletes to end the competition in their sport itself. And I just think that a lot of these woke athletes have really not contemplated the ridiculous situations that they are considering. Because you know what? Nobody has any issue with girls who decide to become boys, right? Because they would never make the team. This isn't about trans issues. It's about fairness and competition. And let me make that clear for people out there who don't really think about it. A girl who decides that she is a boy and decides that she's going to move from playing girls soccer to boys soccer would never make the team. She wouldn't be good enough because there is a huge biological advantage to being a man. So nobody is complaining about that because it doesn't impact the fairness of competition. What people are discussing is boys deciding to become girls, which is what Alex Morgan is advocating for in potentially boycotting Texas and Florida. It's next level crazy.